Hi, my name is Roger Schluter. This video is about the RMA, and the RMA has some products that can help you do projections. RMA stands for Risk Management Association, and they put out a booklet called Annual Statement Studies. Anyway, it's a 2 books paperback set, and the publication takes a large number of company financials in many industries, and it compiles that information into financial statement of the financial statements into usable information for us. The information is really given as a percentage of sales for what the part we're looking at. The book does not give sales figures, so you're going to have to come up with your own sales, and that kind of depends on a lot of things. All sales in this booklet are 100%, and then the expenses are given as a percentage of that 100%. So anyway, the information for our purposes is great for expense and net income, but they're given as a percentage of sales, so you still have to project your own sales numbers. Sales should have assumptions on how you came up with those sales figures. And a lot of people forget this. They just dream up a sales number or come up with one that sounds good. But you really have to have backing on how'd you come up with that sales number. I mean, is that a percent of people in the area that could use your product? Is it with your experience? Because maybe you've worked at a company like this before. Does that does a figure make sense in this population that you're in? So anyway, I'm actually projecting the RMA page for convenience stores with gas stations, hopefully behind me, but I'm not sure if that'll work out real good. So anyway, we're gonna see how it works. I will talk about the information that is set up, as well as the information on each page and how it can be used. So anyway, hopefully this page is behind me. So anyway, at the very top of the page, you'll see you want to really look at the right side of the page, and you'll see current data sorted by sales. So anyway, they actually give you the number of financial statements, and then they give you the range of the sales of those statements. So it always starts out with 1 to 1 million usually, or 0 to 1 million in sales. And then in this example, this is gasoline stations with convenience stores, and I think a lot of times I say it the opposite. I say convenience stores with gas. So anyway, they had 27 statements, and they were all between 0 and 1 million. And then it goes from, that's on the left side when you're looking at this under current data sorted by sales. And then it goes to the right, it goes 1 to 3 million, and then 3 to 5 million, and then 5 to 10, 10 to 25, 25 and over. So anyway, there's quite a few that are in the 1 to 3 million, and there's also quite a few that are in the 25 million and over. So anyway, then you come down, there's a part that really talks about the assets. So anyway, the assets, and then there's a part that talks about the liabilities. And these are the same thing. They're going to have total assets, total liabilities will be 100%. And then these different things in assets like cash or whatever are going to be percentages of that, of that 100%. So those are a little bit, when you're talking about assets and that, the best way to do that, if you watch my thing on projections, I really show you how to do that. But that is usually using your actual assets and liabilities on day one, after you get the loan or whatever, and how those are, and using them that way. So anyway, income data is a little different. Once we have our sales figured, then we're going to come down here where it says income data, and that's actual after liabilities. And then they're going to say net sales, and all these net sales are going to be 100%. And then under that, they're going to have gross profit. So actually, your sales minus your cost of goods sold gives you your gross product. So from there, we can see that our cost of goods sold are probably around 68%. So anyway, but with their gross profit being 32%. So anyway, we know what the cost of goods sold should be, at least in these companies for a small company. And then it comes down to operating expenses, 29%, and then operating profit, 3%, and then all other expenses net would be like a 0.3%, which wouldn't be much, and then profit before taxes they have here at 2.8%. And that's really how you use those. Once you have your sales, you can plug in those percentages and actually say they came from this RMA annual statement studies, and they are believable, those expenses. A lot of times, a lot of the expenses will just be what they are. I mean, your rent and whatever could be just what it is. Cost of goods sold could be that too. But if you're going into a business that you don't know that well, this is confirmation of those numbers. I do a lot of loans in the Midwest, and usually when we look at this, we're usually lower than those because I'm doing a lot of stuff in rural areas. So we're usually, the actual numbers are actually lower, the expenses are lower than a lot of these RMA studies are. So anyway, it makes it look good. So anyway, after that, you're going to come up with ratios, and they give a ton of ratios. And in the ratios, they actually have quartiles. And they do it to split it up into different sections, the highest section, the middle section, the lowest section. So anyway, you would actually have, and let's look on the ratios, let's look at the current ratio. And using the current ratio on this one, the best would be 9.4, and that would be a high current ratio. And then the middle would be actually a 4.3, and then the lowest would be 1.0. Anybody who's familiar with these kind of knows that actually the 1.0 is actually the norm for almost all businesses. So anyway, when you're getting up around 4 or 9 in current ratio, that's really good. And then your quick ratio is an abbreviation of that current. It just really uses cash and accounts receivable. It takes away inventory out of there. So anyway, in quick, then it's the top is 5.8, which is really, really high for quick ratio. The middle is 2, and the bottom is a 0.4, which is probably for a bottom is more realistic, because usually you say quick ratio should at least be 1. Usually current ratio should be 1 or 2, usually probably 2. So anyway, that's the current ratio, quick ratio, and then they give sales to receivables, they give cost of sales to inventory, they give sales to working capital, and then down lower you'll see, debt to worth, percent, let's see, all sorts of stuff. And I tell you what, most of these banks don't even use. So, you're better off just using kind of maybe the current ratio, quick ratio, maybe sales to receivables, maybe sales to working capital, and then doing your income, your actual income expenses. But a lot of these you can use the RMA statement, annual statement studies to go ahead and reinforce your data, or to show that your data is good. And that you should make money utilizing this. So anyway, it's a very short video, I'm sorry. But if you like this kind of content, because this does help you do those projections, and helps you substantiate those projections. So if you like this kind of content, I hope you subscribe. I hope you hit the bell notification for future videos. And if you take something away, I hope you hit the like button. If you actually going to use this to do your projections when you get a business loan. So anyway, thank you very much. My name is Roger Schlueter, and I will see you in the next video.